Imagine for a moment that wealth is not something you chase, but something that recognizes you. Imagine money, opportunities, and abundance responding to your presence the way people respond to warmth, confidence, and clarity. This is not fantasy. This is the power of your aura. Your aura is the energetic field created by your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions. Whether you are aware of it or not, you are constantly broadcasting a signal to the world. That signal determines what comes toward you and what moves away. When you train your aura to align with wealth, abundance begins to feel less like a struggle and more like a natural consequence of who you are. Wealth does not respond to desperation. It does not flow easily toward fear, doubt, or inner conflict. Money, like people, is drawn to stability, confidence, and value. Your aura communicates all of this before you ever speak a word. If deep down you believe money is hard to earn, that you are undeserving, or that success belongs to others, your aura carries that message. The world simply reflects it back to you. Training your aura begins with awareness. You must become conscious of the emotional and mental patterns you live in every day. Are you constantly worried about bills? Do you compare yourself to others? Do you feel guilt when you want more? These states weaken your energetic field and push abundance away. To attract wealth, your aura must be grounded in self-worth, not ego, but quiet certainty. Wealth flows toward people who respect themselves, their time, and their energy. This starts internally. When you stop seeking validation and start honoring your own value, your aura shifts. You stand differently. You speak differently. You make decisions from clarity instead of fear. Attitudes notice that. People sense that. Money follows confidence that does not beg. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to train your aura. Gratitude signals abundance, not lack. When you appreciate what you already have, you tell the universe that you are capable of receiving more. This does not mean settling or lowering your goals. It means anchoring your energy in fullness instead of emptiness. Each time you consciously feel grateful, your aura becomes lighter, more expansive, and more magnetic. Wealth is attracted to expansion. Scarcity contracts energy. Expansion invites flow. Your emotional state matters more than your circumstances. Two people can have the same income, the same job, the same resources, and live in entirely different financial realities. One feels secure, creative, and optimistic. The other feels trapped, anxious, and resentful. Their auras are completely different. Wealth grows where optimism lives. This does not mean ignoring problems. It means choosing faith over panic, curiosity over frustration, and solutions over complaints. Every time you regulate your emotions instead of reacting, you strengthen your aura. Visualization is another powerful training tool. Your mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you regularly visualize yourself living in financial ease, making confident choices, giving generously, and receiving freely, your nervous system adjusts to that reality. Your aura begins to match the frequency of wealth before it physically arrives. You start behaving like someone who expects abundance. You take inspired action instead of hesitant action. Wealth responds to expectation. Your words also shape your aura. The way you speak about money, work, and success programs your energy. Complaints, jokes about being broke, or constant focus on lack send a signal that you are aligned with struggle. Replace those patterns with language of possibility and growth. Speak as someone in transition, not someone defeated. Even when challenges arise, speak with authority over them. Your aura listens to your voice. The world does too. Physical care is often overlooked in wealth attraction, yet it is essential. Your body holds and transmits energy. When you neglect rest, nutrition, movement, and posture, your aura weakens. When you treat your body with respect, your energy becomes stable and strong. Wealth requires stamina. It requires presence. It requires the ability to handle responsibility without collapsing. A healthy body supports a powerful aura. Boundaries are another sign of a wealth-aligned aura. People who attract abundance do not leak energy through overgiving, people-pleasing, or tolerating disrespect. They know when to say no. They protect their focus. This creates energetic integrity. Money flows toward people who manage resources well, and your energy is your first resource. When you honor it, wealth recognizes you as a capable steward. Finally, trust is the foundation of a wealthy aura. Trust in yourself, in timing, and in your ability to learn and adapt. Fear repels wealth because it creates rigidity. Trust creates openness. When you trust, you take aligned risks. You stay calm during uncertainty. You remain receptive. Wealth does not always arrive how you expect, but it arrives where it is welcomed without resistance. Training your aura is not about pretending or forcing positivity. It is about alignment. It is about becoming the version of yourself that feels natural in abundance. When your inner world changes, your outer world follows. Wealth stops being something you chase and starts being something that meets you where you stand. When your aura speaks the language of value, confidence, gratitude, and trust, abundance listens. Your relationship with wealth begins with your relationship with yourself. The way you see your own value quietly shapes the energy you project into the world. This energy, often called your aura, speaks long before you take action or say a word. When self-worth is low, the aura carries tension, insecurity, and hesitation. This does not mean you are incapable or unworthy of success. It simply means your energy is tangled in fear and self-doubt. Wealth, which thrives on clarity and confidence, struggles to connect with that signal. The first step toward attracting abundance is not external effort, but internal alignment. Fear and scarcity thinking are subtle habits that form over time. They show up as hesitation to charge what you deserve, guilt around wanting more, or constant worry about losing what you have. These patterns send a message that you do not trust yourself to handle abundance. When you begin releasing these fears, your energy stabilizes. Stability is deeply attractive. It tells the world that you are grounded, capable, and ready to receive. This does not require arrogance or ego. It requires quiet certainty, the kind that comes from knowing your worth without needing to prove it. Confidence rooted in self-worth changes the way you move through life. You begin making decisions from belief instead of desperation. You stop chasing approval and start choosing what aligns with your values. This shift alone can transform financial outcomes. People sense when your choices are guided by clarity rather than need. Opportunities are more likely to present themselves to someone who is not grasping or anxious, but calm and self-assured. Wealth flows toward those who can stand firmly in their own value without shrinking or overextending. When you respect yourself, you naturally respect your time, energy, and skills. You no longer tolerate situations that drain you or diminish your worth. This creates energetic boundaries that strengthen your aura. A strong aura is coherent and focused. It does not scatter energy through overthinking or self-doubt. Instead, it sends a clear signal of readiness. Wealth responds to readiness because it requires responsibility, consistency, and trust. Self-worth signals all three. Operating from belief rather than desperation changes the emotional tone of your actions. Even when you are building, learning, or starting small, your energy feels different. There is patience instead of panic, curiosity instead of fear, and confidence instead of comparison. This emotional shift alters your perception of money itself. Instead of seeing wealth as something outside of you, you begin to see it as something that responds to who you are becoming. That perspective alone removes resistance. As your self-worth deepens, your aura becomes magnetic. People are drawn to your presence, not because you demand attention, but because your energy feels safe and grounded. Trust grows naturally in your interactions, and trust is a gateway to opportunity. Wealth often arrives through people, ideas, and timing rather than sudden miracles. A strong sense of self-worth ensures you recognize and receive these openings when they appear. Ultimately, attracting wealth is not about convincing the world of your value. It is about knowing it yourself. When you stand in that knowing, your aura aligns with abundance. You stop asking for permission to succeed and start allowing success to meet you. In that space, wealth no longer feels distant. It feels like a natural extension of who you are. The state of your mind and emotions quietly determines how much abundance you allow into your life. Long before wealth shows up in tangible form, it responds to the emotional climate you live in daily. Gratitude, optimism, and emotional balance act like expansion forces for your aura. They create openness, ease, and flow. When these states are present, your energy feels welcoming and alive. In contrast, worry, frustration, and constant complaint tighten your energy field. They create contraction, signaling resistance rather than receptivity. Abundance moves toward expansion and away from tension. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotional signals you can offer. It does not deny your desire for more. It affirms your ability to receive. When you consistently acknowledge what is already working in your life, your mind shifts from lack to sufficiency. This shift changes how you interpret experiences. Instead of seeing obstacles as proof of failure, you see them as feedback. Your aura becomes lighter, less burdened by fear. Wealth recognizes this state as readiness because gratitude reflects emotional maturity and stability. Optimism plays a similar role. It is not blind positivity or unrealistic thinking. It is the belief that solutions exist and that progress is possible. When you hold optimism, your energy remains flexible. You stay open to new ideas, new connections, and new directions. This openness allows opportunities to enter your awareness. Pessimism narrows perception, but optimism widens it. A widened perception means you notice chances others overlook. That awareness is often where financial growth begins. Emotional balance is equally important. Extreme emotional swings create instability in your aura. When you are constantly reacting, your energy becomes scattered. Abundance requires focus and steadiness. Learning to regulate your emotions does not mean suppressing them, it means responding instead of reacting. When challenges arise and you remain centered, your energy stays coherent. This coherence sends a signal of reliability and strength. Wealth tends to flow toward individuals who can remain grounded under pressure. Your thoughts shape your internal environment, and your language gives those thoughts power. Repeatedly speaking about struggle, debt, or fear programs your mind to expect limitation. Even casual jokes about being broke reinforce scarcity. When you consciously choose empowering language, you begin reshaping your energetic identity. Speaking in terms of growth, learning, and progress aligns your aura with expansion. Words are not just communication, they are energetic instructions. Visualization further strengthens this alignment. When you imagine yourself living in abundance with clarity and emotion, your nervous system adapts to that reality. Your body begins to feel familiar with success instead of threatened by it. This familiarity reduces subconscious resistance. As a result, your actions become more confident and natural. You begin making choices that align with abundance because your inner world already recognizes it as possible. When your emotional and mental states consistently reflect gratitude, optimism, and balance, your aura begins to match the frequency of abundance. Wealth no longer feels like something distant or intimidating. It feels accessible and safe in that alignment. Abundance often arrives not through force, but through flow, meeting you where your energy already lives. Wealth is not only something to attract, it is something to sustain. Many people focus on bringing money into their lives without considering whether their energy can actually hold it. Energy integrity is what determines whether abundance stays, grows, or quietly slips away. Your aura reflects how well you manage your inner and outer resources. Strong boundaries, physical well-being, and trust form the foundation of an energy field that can support lasting wealth. Boundaries are essential because every yes and no you speak affects your energy. When you constantly overgive, people please, or allow others to drain your time and attention, your energy becomes fragmented. Fragmented energy struggles to support abundance. Wealth requires focus, consistency, and self-respect. When you set clear boundaries, you are not being selfish. You are being responsible with your most valuable resource. A well-protected energy field signals that you know how to manage what you have. Money responds to that signal because it too requires stewardship. Physical well-being plays a deeper role in wealth flow than many realize. Your body is the vessel through which your energy moves. Chronic exhaustion, neglect, or imbalance weakens your aura and reduces your capacity to sustain success. When you care for your body through rest, movement, nourishment, and presence, your energy becomes stable and grounded. Stability creates confidence, and confidence creates trust, both internally and externally. A healthy body supports clear thinking, emotional regulation, and resilience, all of which are essential for managing wealth wisely. Managing your time is another form of energy integrity. Scattered schedules, constant distractions, and lack of priorities drain your focus. Focus is a form of power. When you direct your attention intentionally, your aura becomes coherent and strong. This coherence tells the world that you are reliable and capable. Opportunities are more likely to grow around someone who follows through, honors commitments, and respects their own time. Wealth grows where attention is consistent. Trust ties all of this together. Trust in yourself, in your decisions, and in your ability to adapt creates energetic openness. Without trust, even abundance feels stressful. Fear of loss, fear of failure, or fear of success itself can create resistance that blocks flow. When you trust, you allow money to move through your life without clinging or avoidance. This relaxed confidence makes your energy receptive rather than tense. Energy integrity also means alignment between values and actions. When you act in ways that contradict your inner truth, your aura weakens. Integrity strengthens it. Wealth thrives in environments of honesty and alignment because they reduce internal conflict. Less conflict means more energy available for creation and growth. When your actions match your values, your energy remains clean and powerful. Ultimately, wealth flows toward those who can hold it with ease. Holding wealth requires emotional stability, physical stamina, and energetic discipline. When you protect your energy, care for your body, manage your focus, and trust your capacity, your aura signals readiness. In that readiness, abundance feels natural. It is not forced or fragile. It becomes a steady flow, sustained by the strength and integrity of who you are.